The NBA schedule just came out. Is this finally the year the Mavs will go 82-0? We will discuss that and more coming up right after this on the DLLS Mavs podcast. Hello and welcome to the DLLS Mavs podcast, where we're breaking down all 82 over the course of the next hour. The NBA schedule is here. It's one of the most exciting days of the year. My name is Bobby Corella. You are awesome for joining us on this journey. Joining me right here is Tim Cato. Tim.
Hello.
How are you?
This is, you said one of the best days?
Yes.
No, it's the best one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. What's better than spreadsheets?
That is true. I do love spreadsheets.
Yeah.
Joining us way over there from an undisclosed location is Kevin Gray Jr. Kevin, how are you?
That direction.
It is.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Ice cream is way better than spreadsheets. Relax, Cato. Let's get it right. Ice cream is way better.
We're going to break out the ice cream by segment 3.
We are.
Yeah.
We are.
Okay.
All right, so the NBA schedule just came out. I mean, it literally, like, if you're listening to this in the future, first off, let us know how it is. But secondly, the NBA schedule came out about 5 minutes ago. So we're reacting to a lot of this stuff in real time. We're basically just for the next hour going to be shouting out stuff that we notice on the spreadsheet sitting in front of us. And we want you to engage in the chat as well. What do you think is the 5 can't miss games? What's the big stuff you're noticing? What's striking fear deep within your heart? Let us know all of that and more. But gentlemen, let's get right into it. The schedule opens, and this is, I don't ever remember in franchise history this being the case. The Mavs will play their first 5 games of the season at home, kicking off October 22nd against the San Antonio Spurs. They also play the Wizards, the Raptors, the Thunder, and the Pacers. So how about this? In their first 5 games, you're playing 3 of those teams. They're making their only trip to Dallas right out of the gate, and then we won't see them ever again. 5 straight games at home. That is a whole lot of American Airlines Center basketball for Cooper Flagg, Tim.
In 12 home games in the first 18. Like very home heavy to start the season. Very, quite frankly, like my first blush is it's a pretty good schedule. You get like 2 of your first 10 games are against the Wizards. You get a New Orleans in there. You get a Toronto in there and Indiana. There's tougher games. You get Oklahoma City early on. You get Detroit. So that's going to be the Mexico game?
That is in Mexico City, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's going to be a little bit different. That's going to be the first road trip. The first road trip is going to be out of the country, which is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Pretty amusing. You get a game against Houston, but then you're at Memphis, Milwaukee, Phoenix, tougher one against the Clippers. You got Portland. I would say the first 10 games specifically. That's a pretty nice way to start the year.
So when you're looking at the schedule, boys and girls, you'll notice, as the NBA put it out, they have the local times and the Eastern Standard Times. So the local times are based off of where the Mavericks are playing, either at home or on the road. So, for example, when you look at the game that they had November 1st in Mexico City at Detroit, playing against Detroit, that's a 9 p.m. start time for us locally here. That's 8 p.m. In Mexico. So that'll be a 9 p.m. start time for us. They also have a game. Check this out. If you go to what would be December 29th, for example, they are going to be playing at Portland that night. That game will tip off, boys and girls, at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Illegal.
In Dallas. In fact, they have 2 of those games. So December 29th, they will be playing at Portland. That game will tip off at 10 p.m. They'll do it again on January 6th, at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time against the Sacramento Kings in Sacktown. So get some late night coffee, boys and girls, for at least those particular games, because those are going to be late tip offs at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Should be illegal.
It's insane.
Back to getting off to that start. So, like Tim said, 12 of 18 at home, and it's just we talked about this last year though too. I feel like, because the Mavs got off to what I think they were 5-6 or 4-5 or something, and they had a reasonably friendly schedule out of the gate, and they didn't look good. They did not look ready to play.
I believe 6-7. And then we were
Something
convinced
like
that it was going to go 500, and the Utah loss
That's right.
pushed them to
That's
6
right.
and 8.
Yeah, and they things got pretty hairy there.
5 and 7.
Yeah.
Was it 5? Okay.
Yeah, so
Yes,
things
5
got
and
pretty
7.
bad. And you know what you don't want to. I've said this every year I've covered this team for this is
And
going
we're
to be my
going to forgive
13th
Tanner for
season.
missing.
Huh?
I said the words with no ding.
Oh, he's got
too
a
late
lot
now.
of stuff going on.
It's too late
Don't
now.
distract Tanner. And don't.
Yeah.
I'm jamming. Don't distract me. I'm locked in. All right. I need you to match my freak. They got off to a kind of a lousy start, and the Mavs have done this for a long time. It's not just a Jason Kidd thing. It's not just a Rick Carlisle thing. They just have started slow year after year after year after year. Outside of the 19-20 season, they started 16-6, and then Luka got hurt. They lost a lot of games, and it was grind for the rest of the year. But what you don't want to be doing is the calendar has barely even flipped to November. We're not even to Thanksgiving yet, and you all of a sudden are like 3 games out of the top 6, and it's like you're just chasing for the rest of the season. And so, you know, playing 12 out of 18 at home, that doesn't mean you're going to go 12-6. It doesn't mean you're going to go 18-0, and it doesn't mean you're going to go 6-12. It could mean anything, but it does mean that at least the table is set for you to maybe take advantage of that. I would push back a little bit on getting Toronto, Washington, and Indiana, and then you play Washington again, and then you play there's a couple other relatively soft teams that you play during that stretch. I think there's something to the notion of you playing them early in the season is actually worse than if you played them at the end of the year. Because, for example, by late March, the Wizards are probably going to be playing like meaningless basketball, whereas the first 10 games, even if they're 2-8, they're still right there. You know, so I think there is kind of some challenge there, but yeah, you got to get off to a good start. You just have to.
Yeah, early returns on the schedule. You get both NBA Finals teams on November the 27th and the 29th with the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers. You've got the Clippers on November 14th at home. You've got the Minnesota Timberwolves on the road on November 17th. Your first time that you visit Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks will be on November 19th. And, of course, every Friday in the month of November is when the Mavericks will be playing NBA Cup games. So November 7th against Memphis, November 14th against the Clippers, November 21st against the New Orleans Pelicans, and then November 28th against the Los Angeles Lakers. So if you're marking your calendar for your NBA Cup games, every Friday in the month of November will be when those games are played. As far
a lot
as
of
the
people
NBA
are
Cup.
locked in for that.
That's right.
A lot of people locked in for that. And like last season, remember the Mavs, they beat Memphis to advance to like the out of the group stage or whatever. And they had a game, and then they had a really long time off. Now, there is nothing scheduled between December 6th and December 18th. If the Mavs advance out of their group in the NBA Cup, they will play on the 9th, 10th, 13th, or 16th, or all of those. That's the Cup final. If they do not advance out of the group stage, then they'll play on the 11th, the 12th or 12th, and 14th or 15th. So either way, they're getting a nice little break there early in December, which is important because they're going to be coming out of a hellacious stretch of schedule. And we will talk about that and a whole lot more coming up right after this on the DLLS Mavs podcast.
We're 5 minutes early for that, are we not?
Are we?
Yeah.
I was going to say that flew by fast. We started at 20, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's my
you got
bad.
some time.
14 back-to-backs by my count.
Oh, I'm
Which-
sorry, guys.
Yeah, I was like, whatever.
Yeah, I'm not locked in. I'm locked
He was
out
so
right now.
excited.
I was about to say,
Kevin
you
took
could
over.
call if everybody else to get locked in.
Kevin,
You 5 minutes
I
it's-
thought I nailed that break time.
Yeah,
That's
well,
all right.
you might have.
Did you see
Yeah.
me panicking over here? Like, wait, I'm not ready.
No, I didn't
Yeah.
see you. You've been frazzled because you're making stuff on the fly.
You're,
I
yeah,
counted.
Tanner's doing a
I
hell of
counted
a job,
14.
yes.
I counted 14 back-to-backs. You know, I'm trying to go through, and none of them. I don't know. I was counting back-to-backs. I wasn't looking for how tough they were. We're doing this on the fly. We're adjusting as things go. I'm also looking at the end of the season schedule, and a lot of, as is typical, a lot of the Western Conference. Let's see, 1, 2. Like out of the final, something like 13 games, only 2 of them, like 11 of the, I think 10 of the final 12 games are against Western Conference teams. That is how the NBA has been scheduling it. Typically schedules it. I think it's been more of a focus in schedules over the past few years is that you play the Eastern Conference, you get most of the games out of the way by the All-Star break, maybe into March, but about halfway through March, you are playing people in your conference with an effect, you know, with a huge ability to affect where you are in the standings. They try to schedule it that way, which makes sense. You want that drama.
That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be.
You want the ability for Dallas in every team in their conference to be able to like go to war with each other and try to, you know, push up and down and against each other to jockey for better seeding. So that I think is something that stands out.
Check out this stretch from November 28th through December the 6th. So they are going to be starting on Friday, November 28th at the Lakers on a back-to-back against the Clippers the next night, then at Denver on December 1st, then come back home to play Miami, then go on the road against Oklahoma City, and then on the second night of a back-to-back on the 6th, after playing Oklahoma City, they play back at home against Houston. So you got the Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets, Heat, Thunder, and Rockets in a 6-game stretch between the 28th of November and the 6th of December with 2 back-to-backs in that stretch too against some really good teams. So that's an early season stretch that you could look at against some quality opponents. That'll be interesting to watch there.
That's the thing that I was teasing after the break that I tried to go to way too early.
Oh, my bad.
Really tough. Really tough stretch of schedule. And that's coming off of the 12 out of 18 to start the season at home too. So that's why, you know, getting off to a really good start is important just generally, but also specifically whenever you're staring that down. Like let's say, okay, the Mavs' first 18 games, relatively soft, a lot of home games. Let's say you come out of that 11-7. All right, that's pretty good. And then out of that 6-game stretch, you go 1-5. Well, you're still 500. It doesn't even matter, you know. But if you start, instead of 11-7, you start 7-11, then you get pounded by those good teams. Well, now you're like 8-15, and it's kind of like, well, I guess we'll just try next year. you know, like you could be buried pretty early in the year because coming out of the NBA Cup little break, you got to play Denver again. You got to play at the Warriors. That's Christmas, and then it's a big West Coast trip, and then like it's just, you know, I don't know. It's pretty tough. It's kind of annoying that there's so many good teams in the West because pretty much any time throughout this schedule, whenever you're playing 3 or 4 or more West teams in a row, you're like, damn, this is going to be tough.
Yeah, and the way the NBA Cup works is weirdly enough, if you want an easier schedule, it's probably better to lose.
Yeah, it is.
Like you're going to get an easier team, an easier matchup. If you're not, generally speaking, you know, there can be exceptions to this, but you know, you're looking at these 4 games. Everybody thinks, you know, you should think that Dallas can beat Memphis, that they can beat New Orleans, and then they probably need 1 win against either the Clippers or the Lakers. And if they do get a win against, let's say, the Lakers in that first matchup, you know, it's that schedule that you laid out, Kevin, where it's you know, the night after you got to play the Clippers. At least you don't got to travel, but the night after you got to play the Clippers, and then you go play in Denver, and then you play Miami. At least you're home for that. Then you got to fly to Oklahoma City and Houston, you know, kind of what you laid out. And then you're going into the Cup. And you'll get a few days off, but you're going to have most likely a tougher opponent that also went 3-1. Whereas even if you lose that, you know, you're probably getting somebody who, you know, was also not good enough to win 3 out of 4 games. And let me tell you, like there's random variance that happens. There are good teams that do not make, the little final 8 of the NBA Cup. But it's still going to be tricky. If you win, you're almost certainly going to be playing a good team.
Every game matters. Every single one matters.
Yeah, there might be like one that
nope, every single game, Tim.
What if they make it to the NBA Cup? Will that game matter?
Yes, that game matters a whole lot. It matters for their checkbook, and that matters to me because I'm parasocial like that. All right, coming up after this actual break, we're going to continue talking about basketball. Don't go anywhere.
Oh, I'm up first, am I not?
Empire Today, Tim.
Empire Today is the leading floor brand because they're the best. They focus on flooring every single day of their lives. They're not like the big box stores. And that's good. You don't want them to be like the big box stores. You could be in a situation where you go to one of those stores, you're wandering for days. It feels like you're in the desert, like you're in a ocean of sand. And then when you finally find the department, the flooring department, you don't know the guys there really know what they're talking about. You can't know that. You cannot possibly know that. They might have been doing pool inflatables not even 1 hour ago and just got transferred in the flooring department. Empire Today is your best bet because they live and breathe flooring. So schedule a free in-home estimate because some things are just better at home. DLLS listeners can receive a $350 discount when using promo code DLLS. Yes, you heard that right. A $350 discount with code DLLS. Restrictions apply. Visit EmpireToday/DLLS for full details.
Schedule's out, which means it's time to buy some tickets. You've probably been to American Airlines Center before. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you have. You probably haven't been to any of the road gyms. Again, maybe you have, but maybe you forget what the view is like. Maybe you don't know how much it costs. Maybe you don't know where the best deals are in what sections and what your view is going to look like whenever you're there. Game Time is going to get you set with all of those things and more. There's zone deals so you can save even more when you choose a section and let Game Time choose the seats for you. You're going to know your total up front with no surprise fees at checkout, and you can also get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. So let's say you want to go watch the Mavs play the Thunder, but you've never been to that arena before. Well, you can log into Game Time and see exactly what that view is going to look like before you fork over your hard-earned cash. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DLLS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DLLS for $20 off. Tap, take it, go. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it?
Game time?
Go. Welcome back. It is the DLLS Mavs podcast.
He had
Kevin Gray participating in Game Time remotely.
Do we want to go over Rivals Week?
Is that a thing?
That's a Corella joint. That's a Corella joint. Rivals Week.
So the Mavs 2, one of them is Mavs Lakers, which I think we all get that one. We understand that one.
All right.
Why, Tim?
That one
Why?
is actually the conclusion of Rivals Week. It's January 24th on a Saturday at 8:30 Eastern. So 7:30 local.
Primetime ABC joint. That's a big one.
On a Saturday, yeah.
That is a big one.
I like that. I like that.
Would you like to guess what the other Mavs rival is? And it's not the Phoenix Suns anymore.
It's got to be the Suns or the Spurs or the Rockets. The Thunder?
It's
Timberwolves.
Literally none of those teams.
The Timberwolves.
No. Keep going. Keep guessing.
The Knicks.
The Pelicans.
No. The Warriors?
The Warriors?
I guess because of 2007. I guess because...
Clay?
I guess because Clay.
Did we
guess.
say that at the same time?
There's nothing rivalrous about that at all.
To be fair, this isn't even the worst rivals matchup. Another rivals matchup the day before on Wednesday, January 1st. The Cleveland Cavaliers and the Charlotte Hornets play each other.
Oh, that's big. That's a big vaunted rival. They go back years.
We're gonna guess it's because the Ball brothers. What are the chances that Lonzo and LaMelo Ball both are active and playing in that game?
Honestly forgot Lonzo was even on the
in
Cavs.
mid-January. The other such rivalries are San Antonio, Houston. Makes sense. Lakers, Nuggets.
I feel like the Mavs are bigger rivals with both of those teams than they are with each other.
I would agree, but I don't hate it. You know, there is a highway that connects them. Though you can say that's true about a lot of cities. You've got the Thunder and the Bucks. Is that are they rivals?
No.
You've got
Lakers
Clippers, sure. You've got Rockets Pistons.
No.
I guess going back to the 90s?
No.
This is
How are-
rivalry week?
Rockets Pacers?
Rockets, Pistons.
Oh, the Thompson
Oh,
brothers.
sorry.
The Thompson
Yeah,
brothers.
Rockets,
no, you're right.
Pistons.
Yeah.
The
And then you
Thompson
got
brothers.
you got Pacers, Thunder, which whatever, I guess.
Dude, rival week sucks.
And then you
That's
got,
all-
uh,
that's
you've
the
got-
worst week.
you've got-
the families in the NBA this year. The Ball
You
brothers,
got
the
Knicks,
Thompson brothers.
Sixers, and Warriors, Wolves. That is the I don't unless it's like Celtics, Lakers. I don't want historic rivals in Rivals Week. The entire point of Rivals Week is that there's recent history and that players currently on the team have some sort of rivalry, I guess, with each other. Like then at least it adds a narrative.
There's no
juice to
rivalry
it.
between the Mavs and the Warriors, though. There's none. There's literally none. Like any animosity. Like
2007 might give you
Oh.
something different.
Sure, but that's 20 years ago.
Rockets Pistons is the Thompson twins.
Yeah, KG mentioned that, but
okay,
like,
my bad.
the Mavs and the Warriors
Lock
played
in,
in.
Cato.
Right?
I was astonished by what I was looking at. That like sound around me, like it like just dissipated. I couldn't hear anything.
The
The
Mavs and the
walls were closing in.
They played in the conference finals in 2022, but the only player still left on the Mavs from that series is Dwight Powell. So there's no rivalry there. Warriors fans
When you say it like that,
Warriors fans gave Clay a massive standing ovation both times they played there this season. Like, there's just nothing. There's nothing. That feels really bizarre. I mean, you have the Cooper Wemby thing. The Mavs and the Spurs got history. Mavs and Rockets, again, history. Mavs and Celtics, like, even if both those teams aren't going to be 65 winners or anything this year, like, Celtics fans still hate Kyrie pretty hard. So I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rivals Week is kind of weak sauce all the way around when they've tried to do this. I did want to mention a couple things real quick, specific to the Mavericks schedule real quick. And someone had pointed out in the chat earlier. So if you look at January 8th through January the 17th, the Mavericks will play the Utah Jazz 3 times in 10 days.
Oh, wow.
So after that kind of difficult stretch that they have in late November, early December, January 8th, they got at Utah and then at Chicago on the 10th of January. So that stretch, they'll be at Utah, at Chicago, at home against Brooklyn and Denver, and then back-to-back games at home against Utah. So on the 15th and the 17th of January before they visit Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks on MLK Day. So a chance to rack up some wins there with Utah and Chicago and Brooklyn, facing some pretty bad teams over that couple of week stretch there before you go to New York City in late January.
Hey, we thought the same thing about Utah last year, though, and can't take it for granted.
Now you want to chime in on the Utah thing, Tanner. Thanks.
I do regret to inform you guys,
Uh-oh.
there are outside of the break, outside of the All-Star break and outside of the NBA Cup break,
Okay.
there are 0 Friday-Saturday combo packs off this season. None.
Wait, what?
They will have a game every single Friday or Saturday.
wow,
Of
After
whole
the All-Star
season.
break?
No, the entire season.
which is pretty. I mean, it's not that abnormal.
Last year there were 2.
Oh, well, I guess it's pretty abnormal. Yeah,
Wait,
that's pretty crazy.
Run that by me again because I'm looking at Friday.
They play every single Friday or like every single Friday, Saturday stretch. They play at least one of those days every single weekend all season.
Do they have any Friday and Saturdays?
Oh,
They do
wow.
have
Okay,
one
so-
early in
Yeah,
the year.
Lakers, Clippers.
11-7 and 11-8. And Lakers Clippers vaunted West Coast late night Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, you more
Okay.
excited about the
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday Memphis, Washington combo or the Friday, Saturday Lakers, Clippers combo?
Yeah, well, what I'm not excited for is that Thanksgiving is the day before that, and Black Friday is supposed to be a day where you hang out and have fun, and instead it's going to be just emotional on the TL. 'Cause it's
Not
gonna be
this year.
Mavs Lakers.
Not this year. I see what you're saying. They play at least either a Friday or a Saturday every week for the remainder of the year after the All-Star break. I see what you're saying.
No
now.
weekends off. If you want a vacation, don't do
Don't
it
take
with
it
us.
here. Don't do it
Don't
here.
take it here. Not with the Dallas Mavericks. I'm unwavering. I'm unwavering. All right, probably the toughest stretch of the schedule. I don't know based on win percentage, but from February 6th to March 10th. All right, now that is interrupted mercifully by the All-Star break and all that stuff. But
February 5th.
No, February 7th.
Okay.
What are you
said
talking
6th.
about? February 7th to March 10th.
Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you. I don't know what I said. Who cares? They play 11 out of 14 games on the road. And in fact, if you want to get a little generous, they play 13 out of 17 games on the road through March 16th. That is a lot. And I mean a lot of road games. Now, some of those games against maybe teams that are going to be losers. The Suns, the Pacers, the Nets, the Hornets, who actually beat the Mavs last year, the Raptors. But you got Cleveland twice in there. You got the Lakers. You got the Spurs. You got the Thunder in there. You got at Magic, at Boston on a back-to-back. That is a tough stretch of schedule. 13 out of 17 on the road.
I guess that balances out the 13 of 18 you started at home to start the year with, because the Mavericks will play 13 of the first 18 at the AAC. So that'll come back to get them at the end of the year with, what'd you say, 13 of 17 on the road during that stretch?
13 to 17. Yeah, and it is 13 out of 18, not 12 out of 18.
Yeah, I think the reason is the American Airlines Center has a rodeo, and so they had to take a really long.
I'm gonna commit violence on camera today. I'm gonna violate TOS.
Oh, don't do that.
What's
We're
wrong,
trying to
Kato?
make astute
what's
basketball
going on?
points, and you're just over here just making jokes like a little jokester.
Oh yeah, imagine
what's
an
going on
NBA
with
team
you?
vacating their arena because a rodeo comes.
It
to
would
town.
never happen.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous
What's
notion.
next? An award show?
Whew,
Okay,
craziness.
Great point. Okay, so real quick
Yeah.
before I go, as you were going through that 13 to 17 stretch there, when do we think Kyrie makes his return?
It's a good question.
February 24th at Brooklyn.
Mark that though, just in case.
Yes, just in case. Exactly. Yes.
I mean, I don't know
The
if you're
third game after the All-Star break.
Yeah, if you're feeling like really optimistic, I don't know. I don't even want to speculate on this sort of thing, but
Right. We really don't know.
yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I'm going to
you're
take a guess. I'm going to take a real quick guess because I think it's just drama. Let's shoot for February 12th, 2026 at the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's just throw some drama out there. Let's just have some fun.
You're always going to return, especially if you're a good player, you're always going to return against a bad team because you can put up good numbers, feel good about yourself, kind of ease your way into it.
That's also
I agree. It's just
not to push back too hard. That's the day before the All-Star break. I don't.
Yeah,
think
I know. Yeah.
210 though at Phoenix. Kind of a bad team right before the Lakers game. Get a couple games in before the break. It's kind of like how you should always start school on a Thursday. You get a couple days in, kind of just
maybe you get one game in, and then you have an extended long break.
Yeah, knock off the rust a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you get a little.
He's got a home.
He's
He's got a home in Los Angeles, so he could just play against the Lakers and then just stay home for the All-Star break, and then come back. When he's ready to go.
Okay,
which team will LeBron be on that night?
Yes,
I'm not laughing.
Yes,
I actually have some thoughts
He'll be on the floor.
Well,
either way that
to
night.
get into after this break.
All right, yeah, we
So,
gotta take a break.
yeah.
All right, KG's got a jet. He's got to go play dad. Kevin, I'll see you shortly on the Wing Show.
You sure will.
All right, but enjoy your afternoon until then. That is Kevin Gray. Give him a follow, Kevin Gray Sports Jr. over on the Bird. All right, coming up after this, Tim Cato's going to make a point.
But first, are you a diehard? If
Yes.
you're watching this stream, you are a lowercase d diehard. You are a sicko. You care about the Mavs schedule release. You care about the spreadsheets, baby.
Mhm.
And you know what? As a fellow spreadsheet enjoyer, love you for that. But are you a capital D diehard? Because if you're not, I can tell you how to do it. Because it's fantastic, and we love every single person watching, commenting, commenting in chat, popping into chat. hitting the like on this video, tuning in for our usually noon central daily shows. Day obviously a little bit later with the schedule release. But if you want to take it up to the next level, become a capital D diehard. ALLDLLS.com/diehard. That's where you get access to all of our diehard premium content. First time you sign up, you get a shirt of your choice, totally free. It comes with the price. Right now, we've got a $36 limited time training camp offer. Yes, it's for Dallas Cowboys training camp, but I don't even know how many games did they play? What's their schedule?
They only play 17 games.
Yeah, so it's that like we don't even care.
You want coverage of all 82?
Exactly.
Bet the Cowboys won't play 82 games this year.
I bet they won't.
Mavs will.
You're going to get access to all that. You're going to get access to the Die Hard only Discord. You're going to get 20% off all events and merch. And that's merch on top of the free t-shirt. So if you want to buy, you get a free t-shirt. It's so comfy. It looks so good. So many people compliment you going on out and about. Oh, you got to get another one. 20% off right there.
Boom.
Get the Die Hard welcome kit as well, which includes the Die Hard physical card. You can get all that at alldls.com/diehard.
If you want to watch Dirk is on Prime, right?
He is.
Yeah, Dirk is on Prime. I knew that as of weeks ago. The Mavs are going to be on Prime five times this year. All right? They're going to be playing the Lakers 2 of those games. So you're already going to be feeling real emotional that night because of Luka and LeBron facing his former team and everything. Also, Dirk is going to be on TV to talk you through all of it. Dirk will also be taking us through Mavs Thunder. Dirk will be taking us through Mavs Warriors, not on Christmas Day, the other one. And then Dirk will also be taking us through a Mavs Spurs tilt on February 7th. And it's telling me here, Tim, I see here that game starts at 5 p.m. on February 7th. That's a really weird time to start a game. But I'm not going to complain about that at all. That's a Saturday, Feb 7. That is after the Super Bowl. Super Bowl is February 1st this year, I think.
Oh, okay.
You a big Super Bowl guy?
Sure.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Tanner?
I watched.
Yeah. Yes.
Big
Yes.
Super Bowl guy?
Yeah.
I mean, sure.
I mean, I've been known to watch them. if
Y'all
that's
gonna
what
be
you're
big
asking.
Prime guys? You gonna have
Yes,
Prime watch
I am
parties?
very excited about that.
Yeah?
I want to watch a lot of Dirk.
Yeah.
A lot. And Nash. And
All right.
Blake Griffin. Like that's great
Yeah, Blake
combo.
Griffin should be fantastic on
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Noted Adam Friedland show guest.
Mm.
I think he also has some other notable things that he's known for, but that's where I was introduced to him. He was pretty funny on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've got a kind of serious question for you.
Okay.
And this comes from we were talking about I guess we were talking about how Mavs Lakers wasn't on Christmas Day. And the way I come at these conversations, and I it can get annoying. I do it with TV shows as well. I think about or movies, and it's like it's not like, why did the character do this? Because they're characters. It's written in a plot. The way I come at it is, why did the director choose to write it this way?
Mm-hmm.
And so here's what I'm wondering. Do you think the NBA feels bad for Nico Harrison, or feels like what happened to the Dallas Mavericks last season was a little bit too much? Because I'm looking at the schedule, and I'm looking at the aforementioned, what we thought would be a slam dunk, hit the button. Obviously, you want Luka in Dallas on Christmas Day. Obviously. You would think so. We talked about how that's the one thing that could kind of push back against the NFL. Maybe. Like in our estimation, if there's anything the NBA could do from a sporting level to push back against the NFL, that seemed like the thing that it might be. And then you look at the schedule, and Dallas's first game against the Lakers doesn't come until late November. It's right after, but it's in Los Angeles. You don't get Luka's return to Dallas until January, and then you get another visit in April. I think what that gives Dallas time to do is for them to win some games, for Cooper to debut and come into his own and for the narrative to change. I wonder, as I look at the schedule, I am legitimately wondering if inside the league office, what they are thinking is that they do want the narrative to cool. They want Dallas to have a chance to show that it's the Cooper. They want the Cooper storyline to be bigger than the Fire Nico storyline, the Luka trade storyline. Not saying that that's not going to be part of it, but they're giving Dallas a lot of time to change the narrative with their own play on the court. Do you see what I'm saying?
I kind of do, yeah. There are a couple pushbacks. So first off, none of us are football guys. The Super Bowl's on February 8th, all right? Not February 1st. That's a huge L by me personally, and also by you, Tim, and Tanner, by you as well.
No one corrected. Well, we just assumed you would know.
I apologize for believing in my co-host.
Yeah, I know.
We believed in Bobby, and we should have.
And the reason that matters is that January 24th game in Dallas against the Lakers, 7:30 p.m. tip-off Central Time on ABC. That, to my knowledge, is your first Saturday night primetime weekend on ABC, because before that, it's all college football, it's all NFL. But that weekend, that 24th and 25th weekend, is conference championship weekend in the NFL. So there's 2 games on Sunday. There's no games on Saturday. That's your first Saturday without football. By then, college football's over with. That's your first Saturday without football since essentially like this upcoming Saturday. And so the NBA is putting that game on at a time whenever they're trying to get people to like remember that the NBA exists. You know, it is a huge, huge Saturday. The other time that Luka comes to Dallas, April 5th, I don't know off the top of my head. I don't think Easter is like a huge NBA day, but that day is Easter. And that is a 6:30 p.m. again, prime time on a Sunday night game on NBC. And so I wonder if that's a big one. That's the day before the men's national championship game in college. Is that right?
So to clarify.
So they are putting those on huge broadcast days.
Yeah. To clarify this point, I do not think the NBA has any interest in burying these games.
Yeah.
What I am saying is that they did not spam the Christmas button. They did not spam the opening day, opening week button. They did not put the Luka, the team that traded Luka and the team that now has Luka, they did not prioritize putting them early in the year. In the one game that happens in this calendar year happens in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder.
That stands out to me because it gives Dallas time, like really, and Sarah points out in the chat, like Kyrie may be back for these games. He might be back for the second 2 games. Now we don't know about February 12th, but if Kyrie comes back, he will be back by the very last game. That is the second Luka visit to Dallas. That's April 5th, about the same, literally the exact same. Very close to the same visit, unintentionally that happened last year. And that's a chance for, win now vision versus Luka's new team, Nico's win now vision to actually get to compete against Luka. And for the record, I am commenting on what I think the NBA is doing. I have no, I just find it very interesting that this appears, and I get it. Like, I think from the NBA's perspective, an entire arena wanting, a general manager fired, I don't think they want that. I think they want all the drama. I think they want all the narrative of the Luka trade. But I don't think, I do wonder if they think what has happened last season was bad for the product. And so that is not something that they wanted to, with the schedule, choose to accentuate going into next season by putting a bunch of Lakers Mavericks matchups early in the calendar.
I don't know. It is quite the claim. I'm not totally sure I'm on board, but I do think if they would not have been in the same, you got to remember the NBA Cup is a huge deal, Tim. If they weren't in the same NBA Cup group, I bet they would have played opening week. Maybe not opening night, but I bet they would have played pretty early.
You think so?
Yeah, I think you want that. You want that right at the start.
But I still think it would have been in Los Angeles.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's possible.
Yeah. And again, my biggest argument for this is that they're not playing each other on Christmas, which is still just baffling to me. That's the crux of my argument, and now I'm just building it out with what else we're seeing on the schedule.
No, for sure. And I mean, we
don't
made
know.
that.
We don't know.
We made that point before, but
it might just have been how the chips fell.
We made that point before, but again, I think that Saturday game, like those ABC primetime Saturday night games, are huge ratings monsters, and like that will be probably the most viewed game maybe in the NBA all season, to be honest. The risk you run of having, if in this scenario, if the NBA really is trying to take it easy on the Mavs, the risk you run with waiting for Luka's last visit to the arena to be in game 78 of the season is that the Mavs are not very good, and the Lakers are, even if the Lakers aren't good either, it doesn't really matter. But if the Mavs aren't good for that game, it's going to get pretty It's going to get pretty primal in there.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I were to offer an opinion on this, I like it. You know, I think it makes sense from the NBA perspective. I think it's better to let this play out. And I think that it'd be cool to see a fully healthy Mavericks team in late April, no matter where they are at, but like having all their stars available, I think that would be cool to see. So that's just a quick takeaway, a theory. Like I said, there's no way to prove it, and it may just be how the schedule played out. But the NBA does think about these things. I'll say that much.
One other date to keep in mind, and it was on the key dates graphic that Tanner made earlier, very quickly. Trade deadline February 5th. I'm sure this is just because every year, like the day of the week is different, but like, it does feel like the trade deadline is getting earlier and earlier. I don't know if that's just me or not, but trade deadline that night, the Mavs will be playing the Spurs. That will be game 52 of the season. Last year, I think the Mavs had played like 54 or 55 games, right, by the deadline, or wasn't it a lot?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
I can't remember, but yeah, just February 5th. Keep that one in mind. The Mavs play the Lakers 1 week later. Again, what team will LeBron be on that night? Will it be the Lakers?
What other
will
team
it be
could
the
he be on?
Mavs? Will it be someone else? Will he be a Warrior?
I mean, you're out here asking if he's going to be playing in Saudi Arabia.
I'm not asking that. I've never asked that.
Oklahoma, let's see. Oklahoma City, Dallas they have to play them, I think, a couple times on the second night of a back-to-back. Maybe just once.
I do think it's funny. They actually included this note, and this just feels like such an FU, all right? I don't know if I've ever seen this before on a schedule release. At the very bottom of the PDF that the NBA sent out, there's a little note. Tip times. Tip-off is 10 minutes following the game time. So they acknowledge that the game time is just a bunch of BS. They acknowledge that they're lying to you, but instead of adding 10 minutes themselves to say, no, the game time is actually 8:40, it's not 8:30. No, we got to do that ourselves. So it's all just a lie. It is all a lie. It's the biggest lie ever told. And Adam Silver, I'm coming for you for that one, buddy. I'm running for NBA. I'm proud to announce my candidacy for NBA commissioner, and I'm running on the platform of just list the freaking tip-off time.
Have you ever seen Spinal Tap? Do you know that movie?
No.
No.
What is that?
Have you?
I've never actually seen it, no.
There's the famous scene about like our amps go to 11. Either y'all know that one?
Nope.
Okay, never mind.
I'm familiar with
It's probably
it
going to be a great
through,
point,
like,
though, Tim.
But yeah,
It was just like, it's a like our amps go to 11, and the guy's like, why don't you just make 10 louder, and then it can still just go to 10? And he's like, yeah, but these go to 11. And that's kind of what makes me think of. It's like, why don't you just make game time 10 minutes after? It's like, yeah, but game time is 7:30. It's like, well, why don't you just make it 7:40?
Because they just won't.
7:30.
They need you to tune in for those pregame spots, but the thing is, the pregame show starts at 7.
Yeah.
For a game that starts at 7:40, but the pregame is only about 15 minutes of programming, 15 minutes of commercials.
One final point on what I was talking, and we mentioned this, but right before we go to break, you mentioned this, in fact, but 2 of the Mavs Lakers games are on Prime, which means that Dirk Nowitzki will be involved in announcing them, and I don't think
both
that's
of them
unintentional
are
either.
road games too. By the way, did you notice that?
Yeah, it's the 2 road games,
Yeah,
so
both
they
of-
didn't make him come back to Dallas.
Yeah, and they're not going to make Dirk analyze the game as fans are booing. And like,
Right. But they did make sure that Dirk Nowitzki will have, we'll talk about Dirk Nowitzki, notably not a fan of the trade, will be on the call for 2 of these games. Like, it will be unavoidable for him to talk about it. like I said, I think there's some intentionality there as well.
All right, coming up, we're going to wrap up our thoughts here and do some other stuff on the DLLS Mavs podcast. Hey, we got an event coming up. It is 2 weeks from, well, I don't know. It's like a week and a half from now. What's the date, Tanner? What's the date? August 25th. Monday, August 25th, live from the DLLS studio here in Victory Park from 7 to 9 p.m. We're going to be breaking down some film. I'm going to be putting some Mavs film together. We're gonna go to the tape and figure out what the heck is going on around here. Also going to have a Q&A with some of the DLS crew, and I believe that might not just be limited to folks on the DLS Mavs podcast. It might just be a whole party. Only way to find out, though, is to RSVP. Sign up to become yourself. It is only for diehards. So like what Tim was saying in the last break, if you're not a diehard yet, make sure you sign up. If you are a diehard, though, you can come to this event. It's a small fee. It's a $10 fee up front. We are paying all of that money to Big Brothers Big Sisters. And then we are providing you with food and with some bevies. Also a good time, again, learning some basketball, hanging with the crew, Q&A, come see the studio, come hang out. Have the best time of your life, or at least like a top 7 or 8 moment of your life here with us. Again, Monday, August 25th. Best way to RSVP, go to alldlls.com/events. Again, alldlls.com/events. Sign up and come hang out with us. One of the many bennies of being a diehard.
Love a Benny.
I love a Benny too. And also, while you're here, it is free to sign up for the DLLS newsletter. Just go to alldls.com, scroll down to the very bottom of the page. It's totally free. You don't got to be a diehard. You don't got to be anybody. All you need is an email address. And in exchange, you will get original written content by me, soon to be somebody else. We'll announce that here pretty soon. But you'll be getting daily original written content for free, plus a recap of what we're talking about on our shows, on the website, and a whole lot more. So sign up for that if you'd be so kind.
Who's your favorite Benny?
My favorite Benny?
Yeah. I'd say Safety.
The one with the Jets? I don't know. Famous
The one with the Jets? No, the one that...
Like Benny and the Jets?
No, Benny Safety is part of the Safety brothers.
No, I think
Noted.
his answer was Benny and the Jets, though.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, that was my answer.
I see.
Oh, wait a minute. There's a guy named Benny Anderson that was a member of ABBA. It's that guy.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe he might be a dirtbag. I don't know.
Yours is a good call, though, because that's Uncut Gems on Tuesday,
Yeah.
right?
Aren't we going to do a little
doing
review of that next week?
We are.
Next
I do believe
week is
we are.
Uncut Gems.
The DLLS Movie Club. It's taken over the world. Many are talking about our review of Space Jam.
Are they?
Yes, people are.
I did get a text about it.
Did you?
Yeah.
What'd they say? Were they angry or upset?
I can say who it is. It was Rob Mahoney was very angry. He's not very angry. Well, maybe. I don't know.
He was
Just pissed.
steaming,
I'll
he
invite
was
him.
steaming mad.
To be fair, he sent me a screenshot of 2 movie reviews that I did on my Letterboxd. I watched and reviewed recently Escape from New York. And he sent this and he said, well, this is just ridiculous or something like that. I believe because I put too few stars on them. So
What'd you put on Space Jam?
2 out of 5.
Did you put 2
Which is
stars
not
on
a bad
both?
rating. I mean, it's just like, I thought it was, a bit below average. It was very watchable.
Did you put 2 on Escape from New York?
I put 2.5. I waffled between 2.5 and 3.
Waffled.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
I do like waffles.
yeah.
I'd
give waffles 5 stars.
A lot of weird time for tip-offs. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely evident that these weekend slates.
Well,
like,
Slovenians can watch.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're putting it on international primetime.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
But the games that are on Prime, games that are on NBC, the Mavs just play a lot of weekend, like not quite matinees, but games that start at like 4, or games that start at 5, or games that start at 3. And I'm sure that that's just part of a doubleheader or even a triple header. Like I don't really know what the network's plans are, but I actually do like that. I think there's something, especially when it's cold outside and it's winter and it's like, especially around the holidays, like there is something kind of magical about going to a game that starts at 7:30 and it's just pitch black and it's freezing cold outside. Like I think that's kind of cool, but that's mostly nostalgia. I think it's even better when you can go to a weekend game that starts at 4, you can take the whole family, get home, get the kiddos in bed on time or whatever. Or if you're an adult, you're going with your friends or your partner or whatever. If it's the boys going out, then you can go to the game and you get out in time to go to dinner. So I do really like that there are fewer and fewer 7:30 p.m. tip-offs. And ultimately, I hope that one day Mavs home games start at 7:30 p.m.
Like on the dot.
Well, no, at 7. Sorry,
Oh, okay.
No more
Okay.
7:30 tip-offs.
Okay.
Although you're asking people a lot to fight traffic to get down here.
I would be fine with 7:30 if it started at 7:30. How's that? How's that for a take? Because I understand the traffic issue.
These games were starting at like 7:45 last year.
Right. It's just a reality that if a game starts at 6:30, the arena is not going to be full.
Yeah.
That is a known, legitimate reality.
But the Mavs are one of the few teams that play 7:30 home games.
I would start games if I were in charge of it at 5 p.m. But you know what? I'm not allowed to be in charge of the NBA because that doesn't work for the majority of people. So I am understanding. I mean, if I'm being serious, I would start every game at 11 a.m. What if our jobs are just like 9 to 5s?
Get them out of the way.
Yeah, no, you get to watch, and then
That'd be pretty nice.
That would be sick. My life as a sports podcaster is so hard, guys. Like, feel sympathy for me. Boo hoo! What a hard life. I do understand. I do think that the compromise that I will settle for is 7:30, but it starts at 7:30. Soccer's great at this. Soccer has no problem getting those games off right on time. It's just North American sports with struggle with the concept, and even the NFL is like, certainly for noon kickoffs, not tip-offs. It's 5 minutes later. Like the first play is being run at 12:06.
Yeah, but they list the games at 12:05 and 3:25.
Right.
And 3:05. Like that's just when it's listed.
Start, and that's when they start.
Yeah. Now they'll
dot.
say it's 3:05, but at 3:00 it's Kevin Harlan saying, "Welcome to sunny San Diego," as we watch the Chargers and the Oakland Raiders, the two teams that do not play in those cities anymore. But there's no lying. I think that's great though. Like, okay, how about this? Saturday, Jan 17th, Mavs play 4 p.m. Central. Monday, January 19th, granted that is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, but the Mavs play at 4 p.m. Central. Thursday, January 22nd, the Mavs play at 6:30 Central. Sunday, January 25th, the Mavs play at 6 Central. Like, give me these early tip-offs, dude. Give me these early tip-offs.
And then there's also crazy late tip-offs, though. Like, January 6th at Sacramento, it starts at 11 p.m. And then there's another that's in Eastern time. December 29th in Portland. Those are both December 29th, January 6th. They're both games on the West Coast. But they're 8 p.m. local tips.
Which is brutal.
Which means 10 p.m. for Dallas fans.
And 11 p.m. Eastern. It's like, and these are national
that's the worst
games.
thing. I think that's the worst thing to happen on both of those days.
It's what am I missing? Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry.
Do you want to go through
11 p.m. Eastern tip-offs for a national broadcast? Like, who in God's name is staying up until 2 in the morning to watch Mavs at Kings?
Us.
You have to be a sick little freak or employed by DLLS Sports.
So people in the comments, and I think I was going to suggest doing this. We go 5 more minutes.
6 more minutes.
6 more minutes. People in the chat, or Dan in the chat is asking, what's the first 10 games look like for Dallas? And can we actually predict what's going to happen in the first 10 games? Yes, we can, because we got the other schedule release from the NBA.
Yep.
And it has the scripts of each game revealed as well.
It does.
Now, it is embargoed, so we can't reveal everything, but we're going to do some informed speculation about how the first 10 games are going to go to close the show. How does that sound?
I think
to
that's
take
good.
over as host.
I think that we should, so that's from San Antonio to Washington.
Yeah.
To at Washington. I think there's wins in there. I mean, I think if you could play well and go 5-5, but I think 6-4, 7-3 is possible. Granted, we still don't know if Lively's going to play. We still don't know if AD's going to play, and we also have no idea how nervous Cooper's going to be. So there's a lot of question marks.
So you're let's say the whole line, like the whole roster is healthy,
Okay.
but it's Cooper's debut against Wemby. Cooper, Dylan Harper, Spurs team. I could see it going either way. Let's give Dallas a win there.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean Washington, Toronto,
And then Washington, Toronto, you would like
you
to think
should
that
in
Dallas is gonna
theory win
those
those
two.
games. Okay,
They're
so
both
it's
at
gonna be
home.
really tough. And frankly, Indiana could be tough
Oklahoma
too.
City on the second night of a back-to-back.
Yes.
They're going to lose against Oklahoma. So let's say they start
Yes.
3-1. It could be 2-2 because San Antonio could go either way. Jason Kidd could play around with the lineups a little bit as he often tends to do to start seasons. But we're going to be generous. We're going to give them a 3-1. Then they close out this opening 5-game stretch against Indiana. They should beat Indiana. They should beat Toronto. They should beat Washington, and they should beat Indiana.
Yeah.
So
you could be optimistically, you could be 4-1 there.
4-1. You've got 2 days off. You go to Detroit. It's
Hard to predict, man. It's Mexico
tough
City and Pistons are good, but it's international. There's just a lot of stuff. There's a lot of pomp and circumstance for that game. It's a whole different ball game.
right. And what's tricky about that, let's say because we're like 50-50 on San Antonio and we lean towards win.
Mm-hmm.
Let's lean towards a loss because that is really a 50-50 to me. What's tough is you just finished a trip with a lot of extras to it. I've done an NBA Mexico trip.
Yeah, it's
I
a whole
went down
thing,
there
man.
when Dallas played the Pistons. Oh yeah, it's a gosh dang rematch of
Yeah.
the last time Dallas played in Mexico. And yeah, there is a lot extra going on during those trips. It's not to say the NBA does a good job trying to focus it, but if we were at 4-1, now it's 4-2, and you're coming back from this busier trip than usual. You're going right to Houston. Now it's a short flight. It's like the shortest flight you could expect, and there's a day in between. But you've got to play Houston right after being.
Tough
That's
basketball
tough.
game.
At that point, you're thinking Dallas is probably 4-3. You get to come home and play New Orleans. You're now 5-3. You go to Memphis.
Well, am I getting Zion or not?
Yeah, and what type of goaltending is being officiated?
Yeah.
So, but it's a home game against New Orleans. The hope is that you can win that even with Zion. You probably are getting Zion. It's probably going to be tougher to play New Orleans early in the year than later in the year.
Yep.
It's just how it goes sometimes. But let's say they get a win there. So now you're at what do we decide? 5-3?
Yep.
Then you go on the road against Memphis. And then it's a second night of a back-to-back in Washington. You'd like to say that they get both those games, but it's a back-to-back. It's a road back-to-back.
NBA Cup.
You might not. It's NBA Cup. It at least starts on time.
Is Jackson gonna be back by then, or is he? What's his situation?
He's supposed to be ready early in the year, but his
Playing
availability.
them without him is way
Right.
different than playing them with him,
Absolutely.
especially in that building.
Even if you give Dallas, you can give Dallas both of those games because it's a back-to-back. I'm going to say they split it. So it's a 6-4 situation with a possibility that you're 8-2. The possibility you're 5-5. I think 7-3 should be what they're aiming for. That's a great start. It is not, as you pointed out earlier in the show, it's not typical of the Jason Kidd Mavericks to start like that. But I do think the schedule is set up for that. Even
Let's
without
be honest.
Kyrie.
There were reasons that attributed to slow starts for the Mavs that are no longer factors here.
Slovenian starts. Slow starts, Slovenian starts.
We can, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Luka was not always a very fast starter.
No, that's 100% correct. That is 100% part of it. And now the question is, the guy you replaced him with,
Is he going to be healthy to start the season?
right? It's a different question.
He just had eye surgery.
right. It's
will
a
he be
different.
there?
It's a different problem, but it is still something you're going into the year with. That we got to see what Anthony Davis's health is.
Yeah.
So the other thing to mention about the back-to-backs is even if Anthony Davis or Derek Lively are healthy to start the year,
They
are
ain't
they going to
playing
play
both
the
of
second
those.
night? Are they going to play the second nights of back-to-backs?
Absolutely not, brother.
Probably not. So all of a sudden, that Saturday game, even though it's in Washington, it's against Washington, but if you're down your best player and your second best, or one of your best three players, if it's Cooper Flagg, can Cooper Flagg beat the Washington Wizards? Honestly, that just got me excited. I think that's a great test. That's a great early test for Cooper Flagg. Brother, you're the best player on the Mavericks. Can you go beat one of the worst teams in the NBA? I'm excited for a road back-to-back in Washington, D.C. Cooper Flagg, let's see what you got.
Well, Tim Cato is such a ball lover that he has now officially saved the date for Mavs at Wizards. All right, seek help immediately.
That's a great storyline for it.
That is Tim Cato. That was Kevin Gray earlier. That still is Tanner Rotman.
I think like
I am Bobby Carella. You guys are incredible. Thanks for hanging out with us over the course of the last hour. We will be back with you tomorrow at our normal time. I believe, right? Is that noon? Noon? We'll be back with you at noon. Be sure to join us then right here on youtube.com/DLS_sports. To everyone listening at home, hey, have a great night. And we will see you tomorrow. Until then, be a good person. Bye.
Bye.
We all silly like the mayor.